A second, but first to the NBA, Luka Doncic beating the shot clock with the quick one-handed shot from deep, Nick.
Luka continues to be not only the best rookie, but having the best rookie season, you could argue, in the league in 15 years. He's been just phenomenal.
Which skill are you most impressed? Shooting, scoring, or his passing ability?
I think his playmaking, the passing and the overall ability to handle the ball, whether it's pull up or get up teammates involved. But, I mean, he's giving you 20, 6, and 5 every night. Only, I think, Oscar and MJ are the rookies to do that.
Celtics and Hornets, Terry Rozier connecting with the high-flying Jason Tatum.
Man, for a minute, I thought that was Gordon Hayward. Oh, that was just a light-skinned dude. I'm so sorry. Jason Tatum. And Gordon Hayward, he ain't doing stuff like that.
Gordon Hayward, I think Gordon Hayward's on the screen there. Oh, no, that's not him, actually. That's a different white guy. My apologies. We've gotten two racial things wrong here. All right, my apologies there. Hey, great second half by the Celtics. Looked like the Hornets were going to make it a game. Celtics blew them out in the second.
T-Wolves and Grizzlies, and Karl Anthony Towns driving past Marc Gasol. Hammers one home on Jaren Jackson.
Okay, Big Cat. That's what Jimmy Butler was talking about. This is what Jimmy Butler was mad about. Big Cat, his potential.
And this was only the second best play of Big Cat's night, because he did hit a buzzer beater in overtime, giving the win.
Now, that was a pretty shot.
Absolutely. A little lucky.
To the Warriors now.
Lucky. It didn't even hit the rim, did it?
You guys remember those few minutes we wondered if adding Boogie Cousins to the team would be a good fit or not? Let me save you the time looking it up. Yeah, they're a good fit. Golden State has now won 11 in a row, and through 5 games, Boogie Cousins looks like Boogie Cousins, putting up 22 points in their last game. Head coach Steve Kerr credited Cousins with the Warriors' success.
No dog days this year. It's been nice. I think he personally got us through what would normally be, the tough stretch. And let's face it, we had some tough days earlier in the season between injuries and some drama and all that stuff. So it doesn't feel like the normal January, February point of the schedule. It feels fresher, and I think a lot of that has to do with DeMarcus.
Look, we talked about how much better this team would get when Boogie Cousins came back, but we didn't know what it would look like and how they would all gel and get along and what that chemistry would be like. How much better now is the team now that you've seen him play a couple games?
Well, listen, I think what Steve Kerr said is exactly right. I mean, the Warriors' offense was operating at essentially peak capacity without Boogie, and the offense has operated at the same capacity with Boogie. What has improved is their defense, and that's not because Boogie is some defensive force. It's because the team has had a new reason to engage. They've had a new reason to give their full focus. And when the Warriors are healthy and give their full focus, even without Boogie Cousins, no one's touching them. And so Steve Kerr has it exactly right. This time of the year, it's before the playoff push, but it's after the beginning of the season, the pre-All-Star break is the time when the Warriors can lose focus. And now they're not, because they have to get Boogie involved, because they want the world to see that they can seamlessly integrate him. And the other thing Boogie Cousins gives them is insurance. That if somebody does go down, a thin team is not that thin anymore, because you have another superstar that can just increase his usage rate. So, yeah, he gives them a margin of error, and he gives them motivation, and that's all the Warriors, the most talented team ever put together, have ever needed.
The Warriors, there's several phases. What they do are very, very special. Their overall ball movement, very, very special. Their spacing, because the pressure they put, because the phenomenal shooters that they have, it's one of a kind. And when they want to play in defense, they're the best in the league. Like when they set their mind to it. So yes, Boogie coming back, it gives them a different set of intensity, gives them a different set of goals, game in and game out. And when you've been playing as many playoff games, as many championships that they've won over the last 4 years, you need a little restart like this. It helps out organization. There is a lull period in the NBA. About 2 weeks before the All-Star break, the games get a little more physical. Guys start getting a little more tired. They start getting a little chippy. You start seeing technical fouls, start seeing guys thrown out of games. The Warriors needed this. In this run that they've been on, they need a couple little things, and they've gotten that. Boogie Cousins, besides Clay, he's a better basketball player than anyone the Warriors have had. So now they got KD,
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm talking
outside of
all the players they've had in this championship run, outside of Steph and KD.
Okay, there you go. Gotcha. I understand what you're saying.
Boogie is a beast. They're doing pick and roll with Boogie. All right, so now Steph decides to, do I go to the hole or do I throw it out to a 6'10 guy shooting a 28-footer? They've never had that type of option, and Boogie brings a type of intensity that I believe it's going to help Draymond, because Draymond is typically the guy that brings the energy game in and game out. So this is what I thought it was going to be. Boogie's a special player.
And it should be noted that let's look at the 14 games before Boogie came back. The Warriors had hit their stride. They were 13-1, and they were outscoring opponents by 16 points per game. In the 5 games with Boogie, they're 5-0 and outscoring opponents by 16 points per game. And this is why I had one of my friends in NBA front office guys, when the Warriors got Boogie, said, oh, I think, Nick, you're way overreacting. Because when the news came out, I went on Twitter and I was upset. Let's call it that.
Okay.
And he said, he made the point, their offense can't get better, and he's going to hurt their defense. So how does he make them better? And the point I made was the Warriors didn't need to get better to win another title. They just needed to avoid catastrophe. And if Boogie is nothing other than the world's greatest insurance policy, right? That if someone does go down. Because you had talked last year that you thought that even with Steph, Clay, and KD, how great they were together, if one of them went down, that the team could get got because they didn't have enough depth.
Yes.
Now, that's no longer the case. With a healthy Boogie Cousins, if something were to happen to KD, and it's like, okay, we have the Splash Brothers plus Boogie, that is more than enough. And the fact that it gives them in late January, early February, added motivation to continue refining things, not throw games away, to where they are going to be the 1 seed this year, unlike last year, all those things work.
And I do believe they get better offensively. Well, how do they get better? They have less lost possessions, because they got another guy that's a focal point that they can go to. They got a 6'10 guy that can shoot 3-pointers with the greatest collection of shooters that we've ever seen. Don't tell me they can't get better. What I'm watching is a better version of the Warriors than we've ever seen.
I was going to ask that. So if it was a conclusion before that they were most likely going to go to the finals, is it a foregone conclusion? They've got this thing won now with this team playing the way they're playing? This
is why the most interesting discussion of the 2018-2019 NBA season has been surrounding the 2019-2020 NBA season. And where Kevin Durant's going to go. Is Anthony Davis going to get traded? How happy is Kyrie? What's the LeBron team going to look like? Because we talking about the games right now, the playoffs will be fun, in theory. And it's nice to see what Milwaukee's doing, Toronto with Kawhi. Like, we can find things. But we know what the last page of the book reads. It reads the Warriors winning their 3rd straight title.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan joins us live from Atlanta. That is next on First Things First.